Let me, cause I know you on a very short window, so let me get you as soon as
Gotta get these kids, girl.
I hear you. I hear you. Are you far away from their school?
No, I gotta pick up baby twins that they're 5 minutes away because I'm at work right now, and then
Okay.
pick up the other kids. They're 15 minutes away. The
Oh
big
my God, you got twins. Bless your heart, ma'am.
two sets of twins. So
Oh, oh, you know what? Bless your heart. I bless your heart. The more the merry, I'm sure.
yeah, it is. That's a 10-year gap, though. I wasn't planning on that, but
Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
had no idea my ovaries was like that. They really like that.
That sounds like one of my girlfriends. She has a 10-year gap between each one of her kids, which is hilarious. So yeah.
But they help for sure, so I'm happy about
Hey, that's a good thing. You got your in-home care system, so that's
it.
wonderful. So, ma'am, let me just say thank you first for your time and
Thank
sitting
you.
down and chatting with me. So I appreciate that. But thank you for sending me the message about sinners. Because at first I was like, I don't know. But when
Yeah.
you said it, I was like, let me, go check it out. I got some free time. It was the best thing. I'm still processing it. It was just on so many levels.
That's because you're intuitive. You actually care. It's that you weren't just going to watch the movie. You were going as a fan of music and the culture. You
Yes.
know.
And it came through. So I want to hear your thoughts. What's your thoughts, ma'am? Because you in the industry, the conversations that we've had about the industry, about the culture, and then even the panel that we did in October of
hmm
last year. Give me your thoughts. What's your input?
I mean, I just love the way that they connected all the eras together.
Yeah.
The modern day, back when blues first started, and I love the way that they put religion, they mixed
Mm-hmm.
religion with it, and then the history of how it was in the South with people
Yeah.
migrating. I thought it was you could tell that what's his name, Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Cook.
Ryan Coogler really
Yeah.
did his homework.
Yes,
Uh,
indeed. Yes, indeed. So I've been looking at a couple of the interviews that's been floating around, and I hit up one of my homegirls who's overseas, and I
yeah.
was like, I don't know if you can get it there. I said, but you need to go watch it because it's just amazing. Because she's originally from New Jersey, and she's a singer over in Italy, and that's where I met her. And we've been talking about just the changes and stuff within the system and the industry.
hmm
And I was like, you got to go check it out. So she was like, she would do it this weekend. I was like, I don't want to give you everything. But
Yeah.
it that movie has so many layers, and then the context that they had speaking about even the Irish influence with the music, with that
Yeah.
and the connection with Black people and
Mm.
Irish, and then also when they mentioned the Italian wine and the connection
hmm
with that, it was just so much. Like I'm gonna go see it again because I loved it that much. Like
Yeah, me too. And the symbolism. I have to go see it again because I missed the beginning because I be late. So, and then somebody was up there ordering when we was trying to get the ticket. Somebody was up there ordering this huge order.
Oh
The
my
card wasn't
God.
working. Oh, come on, man! I ain't got time for this.
Right.
I'm gonna walk up in this movie theater. I'll pay y'all after.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was a lot. And then I had to after I got out, I was telling folks in text message, I'm like, you gotta go see it. And don't leave after the credits because it's just so much
Right?
after the
Yeah.
credits. And I love the fact that they brought it back to Chicago because
Yeah.
it helps
Same.
with the conversation and the stuff that I'm doing. But the fact that
Mhm.
they brought it back to Chicago and they had Buddy Guy in it and then Kingfish up in there, that
Yeah.
I was like that movie.
Yeah, that was dope. And the symbolism. Like I was happy to see that. I mean, excuse my French, but I was happy to see the white people were the vampires.
Girl, we've been having some interesting conversations on
Yeah.
these things. So yeah, go ahead and say it.
It was the vampires and the
Yes,
symbolism of that, like because
yes.
they call us animals and we're we're so rude and we're thugs.
Yeah.
But history has proven that you're the animals.
Proven
If
otherwise. And even the culture vultures aspect
yeah,
of it. It was just so much
yeah.
and connecting it all even to specifically Chicago. Like when he made the point, he was
Hmm.
like, I'm gonna come back to Mississippi. At least I know the devil down there.
Yeah.
He's like,
Hmm.
there's a plantation up there, they just a little bit more subtle with it, they a little bit more, covering it up. And it's the truth. It is
Yeah.
the very much
Hmm.
truth in terms of like even places within the Midwest, but then also even parts of the East Coast, New York and stuff like that. It's a little
Yeah.
bit more covered up. They don't want you to see certain things. But I can even remember growing up in Chicago, certain parts of the city we couldn't go to. Like we couldn't go to Bridgeport or even like Mount Greenwood area. It was a lot of that stuff
Hmm.
because it was mostly white folks. And as
Yeah.
thinking about Chicago as a big metropolis city as it was, they still had it segregated up there.
Yeah. And Chicago is still one of the most segregated cities,
Yes,
I believe, in America.
very much so. But I thank you so much for your recommendation on that because it was right
Oh
on time.
yeah, I thought about you was the first person I thought about when I seen they, we're talking about the blues, and I was happy I even got a chance to perform up there.
Yeah,
You guys legends, so I thought that was really dope to have him in the movie.
yeah, that was amazing. So, what year did you perform in Buddy Guys?
It might have been, whew, I've been all over the city, girl. Probably, I would say maybe 4 years ago
Okay,
with
okay,
Attack the Sound, and we did some songs. Uh,
okay,
it might have been 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know.
okay.
I'm getting old. I'm almost 70.
Well, them children gonna keep you young, baby. They gonna keep you young.
No, I thought they aged you.
Hey, no, nah, they gonna keep you like, nah, baby, we been here, done this before. You're not
Hmm.
gonna get over on me at all. But no,
Yeah.
so what type of work and stuff are you doing now?
Same. I'm always doing my music. So, I'm
Good,
constantly
good.
in the studio. People ask for advice on what they should do with their music, or they have me come in and help with, consultations.
Okay.
And then just helping people who need the help now more so than
Yeah.
me just full throttle. I'm still full throttle with my music, but not as much as I used to be. So I'm still doing that. I'm part of the drum line. We still got that going on.
Okay.
Shout out to the pack, and just doing me, just wherever God leads me. That's what I'm doing. Okay.
That's the best way to put it because
Yeah.
we need you. We need you because I
Yeah.
was talking to right before I did interview you. I was talking to another young woman in the scene and just talking
Okay.
about just the mentorship that is needed for the young ones that
Mhm.
are coming up to prevent some of the hurdles and stuff that we had, but also just the fact, especially with women, because I was talking to one of the older women in the scene. She was talking about this woman named Big Time Sarah who came in the blues scene
Mhm.
and how she opened a lot of the doors for the folks within the system. And
Arched. Oh gosh. You on mute, Doc.
I kind of thought that's what it was. I kind of thought,
Yeah, so I'm on the other phone now because it went from 10% to 3%,
oh my
and then
God.
died. So I think I should get a new one. I'm gonna probably get the 16 now.
Well,
But
we'll chop it up. We'll chop it up. So
yeah, you say she opened the door. I'd like for you to start back over.
yeah, I was talking to one of the elders in the blues scene,
Yeah.
Larita Weathersby, and she was telling me about Big Time Sarah, and how she opened a lot of the doors for a lot of the musicians to go start branching out on the west side. But I mean not the west side, the north side,
Is
but
that
it's
the
not
person
talked about.
is that the person you introduced me to?
Um,
Or was that someone else?
no, that was someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, that was someone else. So Miss Larissa was the woman that I just interviewed. So her interview aired this past weekend. Um,
Nice.
so I have been connecting with her and talking, and learning a lot about just some of the women in the scene and how, of course, they don't get their flowers for a lot of
Hmm.
reasons. But I wanted to emphasize and talk to her about that. And the same thing with you. I love just the fact that you are getting out there mentoring and helping the younger folks in the scene because we do need more women in the scene doing it and not having to feel like they got to undress for everything and everybody.
Hmm.
So yes, I love what you're doing. Seriously.
I think the women are uh standing up for themselves and standing on business now.
Mhm.
Because they see that we don't have to do that anymore to get ahead. I'm pretty sure there are still women who do
Of
it.
course, of course.
You know, you stand for something, fall for anything. And if I gotta get ahead doing that, I'm all right.
Right. That part. That part.
You know, um, what good is it to gain the world and lose your soul? Is the
Yeah.
Bible.
That's right. Going back to the movie, it was a lot of that happening in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the fact that you are helping and offering your pearls of wisdom to folks to help them avoid some of the things that not only just us, but even some of the elders went through, because
Oh yeah.
it's a better way and more efficient way to handle business, and we have more knowledge and understanding. And I just hope that people are open to your wisdom
Mm-hmm.
and thoughts, because sometimes we our ego get in the way.
Oh yeah. As soon as you let go of your egoic self, I swear you learn so much more and
Mhm.
listen more than you talk because you can't do both at the same time.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We think we know
Seriously.
everything as artists until we figure out, you know what, they were right, or you
Mhm.
know what, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But it's a learning curve. We're all growing and learning.
Yeah.
So we make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I
Facts.
know now what I should have done, but if
Right.
I could look into the future, I would have handled my situation so much differently.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely is a learning process, and I'm grateful that folks like you have learned, learn
Hmm.
are able and open to look back at their lessons and are now, passing the torch and helping folks out, because sometimes you do get into situations where folks are like, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just let them fall on their head.
Hmm.
There's a time and place for that as well, because some people just honestly don't know.
And there's also older people who kind of been through it and been burned, and now they don't
Hmm.
help anybody, or they charging an arm and a leg for knowledge.
Yeah,
We got to do better as a people to help each other. If you so willing to help this guy over here who ain't the same complexion as you, why you want to step on your own brother
that's the truth.
easily? But I know that's a layer onion too, because it just comes with us
We'll
knowing
come back to that. We'll talk
we
about that another time when we got more time. But
got
yeah,
to know ourselves.
yes, no, that's real. But I so want to certainly, in the space that you are in, give recognition to you, because you are doing an amazing job in just a short period of time that I've known you and I've seen your
Oh,
CV, and that you handling your business, you staying on top of business.
trying.
And as the
Yeah.
mama of two sets of twins,
Okay.
I don't know how you do it, ma'am, but you
Yeah,
doing
oh,
it and making it look good.
a drink is easy.
Yes, yes.
So that you don't do drugs or something, got dog these kids.
But I'm making it look good. But I certainly want to sit down and have a conversation with you again, because even after watching the movie, like, it opened up so much perspective to the project that we are doing with these conversations and moving it forward. But then also moving it even more further in terms of bringing recognition to Chicago. So I want to sit down and talk with you again about some
Yeah.
stuff that we're working on and get you involved, because even how it all started with
Mhm.
me wanting to, do music and bring the scope of the Chicago blues to where we are with hip hop. It now, girl, has turned into a whole performative. where we got
Yeah.
dancers and all this stuff involved. So I certainly want to get you involved in on this
I
one.
would love to. Yeah, I still have an old song. I think I might recreate now because Sway told me a long time ago when I was on his show. He said, "I know you may think that this song is old, but you got to think of how many people there are in the world that haven't heard it and who you
Yeah.
might touch." So I've been just going back trying to work smarter, not harder with
Hello.
some of my songs and recreating them, or just touching them up some, re-recording, and I'm just gonna put those back out because I have a plethora of older work that is still very impactful. And
Okay.
one of the at it is called Blues Ballad, and I
Oh
love
my.
I love ballads. I love blues. I think that's really who I might have been a blues singer, but okay,
In another
maybe
lifetime, right? Seriously.
somewhere.
Yes.
So when and you wanted to introduce me to your connects, I was very excited. I'm still very excited.
Yeah.
So I would love to connect on that.
Okay. It sounds like a plan. But I know you got to go do mommy duty. You got.
It's fine. Go ahead. It was fine.
Oh, I want to respect the mommy duty and the stuff that you got to do.
It's
Like I
fine.
said, we're going to have a conversation
Fine.
again. We're going to do this again because it's going to be more and more of this.
They just gonna take them to the police station. They'll be all right.
My disclaimer is all statements are not in agreement. Girl, you better go pick them babies up.
Mama. No, but they get out in about 10 minutes. But with me driving, I'll be there in two.
Okay, okay. So a question that I could pose for you,
Okay.
in terms of the the innovation that has come through Chicago, starting with our Chicago blues to where we are now with hip hop, and just how many people and names have touched the Chicago ground and Chicago soil. When we talk about Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Mhm.
Quincy Jones, and we can keep going on and all of that. How, after watching the movie Sinners, what do you think is the next level for Chicago on how we can be innovative with the blues?
I think everything that we've learned from is coming back. Like you see all the artists who are sampling songs from the 70s, and
Yeah,
it's gonna keep going. It's just gonna go back more
yeah.
uh, to where they're gonna be sampling. What's my girl named Donna Summers
Mm-hmm.
and Etta James. I love,
Oh,
I love all the
yes.
soulful singers. So I think it's gonna just continuously evolve, but from taking the blueprint from the artists that have paved the way for us to continue to create. Especially the blues, Bobby Blue Bland. I didn't heard that name so much. I gotta listen to some Bobby Blue Bland. I think I heard one song,
Yes.
but the blues really captivate you, and it's
Yeah.
I love a story. That's how I started. I used to be in the basement writing all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I just always wanted to write short stories, and I think that's why I enjoyed music so much because I could really be creative
Yeah.
and tell it how I want.
Right. No, that's the honest to God truth. I think about my introduction into music. I wanted to first get on the microphone. My dad was like,
Yeah,
"No, get a pen and paper, sit down and transcribe this song for me." And I was like, "This doesn't make no sense." Now I understand. It's
yeah,
about that story. It's about the word.
mm-hmm.
Because
Yep,
if you can't get the words and convey that to the audience, you just up there looking good on stage.
yep,
I think honestly, a great deal. I was talking to my sister about this earlier this week. A great deal of people, they have the techniques down pat. But when you
mm-hmm.
ask them to tell a story in them, you'd be like, what are you thinking about? What are you saying?
That's because now everybody kind of want the quick come up, and then on
Uh-huh.
like you can only add a few seconds. Like I want to create an intro to my song,
Yes.
to do an outro. You kind of
Yes.
creativity. So now I think what I'm gonna do is just have the elongated version that I want to put album version
Mhm.
versus just something I could put out on TikTok, I guess, or
Right.
what. But I don't like the way they making it just so fast, and you got to have so much content thrown at you all the
Right.
time. 3 times a day. I want to
Which is
live.
why we all are suffering with wellness problems because
You said well.
we are hyper. Our nervous system is
Oh
just
my
shaking
goodness.
all the time. Mm-mm.
Everything is go go go. But if he
Yes.
could do it, 9 years old, but he got kicked off because somebody told on him because he ain't supposed to
Mm.
have one, have one that young. But he had over 5,000 followers. He started it
Oh
in a
my
week,
God.
and he was getting so. He's like, yeah, I made my 7th TikTok for today. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
just put me to shame. I'm like, have you started? And I can't get that. So so I'm like, I'm gonna hire him as
Hello,
my
seriously.
social
Put him
media.
to work. Put him to work. Yes. So
Well,
you
that
gonna
is
earn
for
your keep.
everything.
You are
Yes.
gonna earn your keep seriously. But no,
Yeah.
remember back when we were growing up and the albums, they used to have a 7 minute on the records. You be looking like, is this song gonna
Yeah.
end? But I understand it.
I like that. Even the old school,
Yes.
like Outcast, it used to be 10-minute songs. You know
Hmm.
what's going on? I want that back.
Let's go back to that because that was some beautiful music. Because like even when you get to the middle of it and you just sit with it, the
Mhm.
song you got 5 more minutes left, and you could go on somewhere else differently. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's bring that
What?
back. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Go. I got duties. Adults.
Yes, you do, ma'am. But we're gonna do it
But I would
again.
love to. Yeah, I would love to. If you have more questions, I would love to answer in detail. So
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
appreciate you
All
for
right. It
on.
was a pleasure, man. Take care of yourself.
Yes, thank you so much, Doc. Where you at right
I'm
now?
in Baltimore right now.
Baltimore. You like Baltimore?
It's okay. I actually used to live here some years ago, so I'm coming back. But since I'm getting now more into the connection of the
Mhm.
music and stuff with AI and trying to help
Yeah.
artists around and how to navigate that, it's a lot of tech stuff out here. So I'm trying to stay in that area.
Okay, now let me hear that accent then.
Huh?
Let me hear that accent.
I can't. No, nobody can do that Baltimore accent. No,
Oh.
no, no. I'm Chicago through and through, baby. Chicago through and through.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure. You enjoy your rest of your day.
You too, ma'am. Take care.
Always.
All right.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.